This is no coincidence. Archangel Michael reveals danger approaching your house. My beloved, pause for a breath, and feel this moment settle around you. This is no coincidence. You did not wander into these words by chance, and I did not reach you by accident. There is a quiet alignment happening right now, a sacred meeting between timing and your soul. I come close to you in this moment because you are seen, because your life matters, because your home, your inner and outer sanctuary, has been held in loving attention. You may have felt it already, a gentle pull to stop scrolling, to listen, to stay with this message just a little longer. That pull is not random, it is recognition. You are being addressed because your heart was ready to hear, and because what approaches requires awareness, wrapped in love, not fear. Receive this as a hand resting softly on your shoulder, a presence saying, I am here, and you are not overlooked. My dear one, the earliest warnings never arrive as noise, they come as softness. They arrive as a feeling you cannot fully explain, a pause in your breath, a moment when your attention drifts because something inside you is gently asking to be noticed. You may have felt it while standing in your home, sensing that the air itself carried a different weight. Not heavy, not dark, just altered. A quiet knowing that something is rearranging itself beneath the surface of your ordinary days. These signs do not shout because they respect you. They trust your sensitivity. They speak through intuition, because your intuition is the language you were always meant to understand. Perhaps you've had moments where you felt restless without a clear reason, or unusually alert to small details you once ignored. You might have woken from sleep with a thought lingering, or felt a subtle urge to check on something, to tidy, to secure, to pause and reflect. These are not coincidences. They are gentle signals, like soft footsteps approaching, rather than a sudden knock. Precious soul, your inner world is incredibly intelligent. It notices shifts long before the mind forms words for them. When you feel a slight unease that doesn't belong to fear, it is often awareness awakening. When something familiar suddenly feels off, it is because your perception is refining itself. You are being tuned, not troubled. These nudges are invitations to become more present, more grounded, more attentive to what surrounds you and lives within you. You may have ignored some of these signs, telling yourself you were overthinking, imagining things, being too sensitive. That is understandable. You have been taught to trust logic over feeling, speed over stillness. But your soul does not operate on urgency, it operates on truth. The signs return not because you failed to listen, but because you are loved enough to be reminded. Each repetition is softer than the last, waiting for the moment you finally say, I hear you. There may have been moments when your heart tightened for no obvious reason, when you felt called to protect your energy, your space, your peace. This is not anxiety. This is discernment growing. It is the natural response of a being who is becoming more aligned with inner wisdom. You are learning to sense before you see, to feel before you understand. This is how guidance has always worked. Quietly, respectfully, patiently. Something is indeed shifting, my beloved, but not in a way meant to unsettle you. Think of it as a change in the wind before the weather turns. The air becomes still, sounds carry differently, awareness sharpens. These signs exist to prepare you, not to alarm you. They ask you to slow your movements, to be mindful of your choices, to bring intention into your daily routines. When awareness arrives early, harmony follows later. You may notice patterns repeating in your thoughts, gentle reminders surfacing again and again. Perhaps a feeling that now is the time to clear clutter, to rest more deeply, to speak less and observe more. Perhaps you feel drawn to moments of quiet, to turning inward rather than outward. These are not withdrawals from life, they are recalibrations. Your inner compass is adjusting so you can navigate what comes next with grace.
1. Do not judge yourself for what you did not notice before. Awareness unfolds in layers. You are receiving what you are ready to receive now.
The fact that these signs are becoming clearer means your intuition is strengthening. You are not late. You are exactly on time. Each inner nudge is a form of care, a way of saying, pay attention here, gently, lovingly. Hold this understanding close. Let it soften you, rather than tense you. When you honor these subtle warnings, they transform into guidance. When you listen without fear, clarity replaces confusion. Stay with this feeling of awareness. Do not ignore it, but do not rush it either. Simply allow it to inform you, to steady you, to remind you that you are deeply connected to a wisdom that knows how to keep you safe, supported, and prepared. Long before anything needs to be named, my beloved, there is a sacred choreography unfolding beyond what your eyes can trace. While your days have seemed ordinary, while time moved in familiar rhythms, unseen hands have been gently adjusting the path beneath you. Destiny does not rush, and it does not forget. It moves with patience, arranging details with care, ensuring that when change arrives, you are not exposed but supported. Even now, threads are being woven together in quiet places, forming a pattern that will soon make sense to your heart. You may have wondered why certain doors did not open when you knocked, why answers took longer than you expected, why progress felt slower than your hope. Those pauses were not refusals. They were moments of preparation. What was delayed was being refined. What was redirected was being protected. Every seeming standstill was actually movement happening inwardly, where strength is formed and clarity is born. Destiny works from the inside out, ensuring the foundation is strong before anything visible is allowed to shift. Precious soul, the things you whispered into the silence were not lost. The questions you asked late at night, the quiet hopes you carried without words, the longing you felt when you sensed there must be more, these we reheard as energy, as intention, as truth. Responses were set into motion the moment you released them, but their arrival required alignment. Timing is not about urgency, it is about readiness. And readiness is something that grows gently, often without you noticing. There have been invisible protections surrounding you, subtle adjustments that kept you from stepping into situations that would have drained you or diverted you from your deeper purpose. You may have felt frustration when plans fell through, or relationships shifted unexpectedly. Yet those moments were not endings, they were reroutes. Destiny sometimes clears the road ahead before you can see what lies beyond the bend. What felt like loss was often space being made for something more harmonious to approach. You are not behind, you are not forgotten. You are being positioned. Even the experiences that challenged you carried lessons meant to sharpen your discernment and soften your heart at the same time. Each encounter, each delay, each unexpected turn added depth to your awareness. You are now able to perceive nuance where once there was only confusion. This is not accidental. It is the result of careful unfolding, designed to meet you exactly where you are now. My dear one, unseen alliances are forming. Circumstances are aligning in ways you cannot yet map. Conversations are happening without your presence, and opportunities are quietly being prepared. Destiny moves through ordinary moments, through routine days, through the spaces where nothing seems to be happening. But make no mistake, something is approaching, shaped by intention and guided by wisdom. When it arrives, it will not feel foreign. It will feel strangely familiar, as though your soul recognizes it before your mind can explain why. Trust the moments when you felt guided to pause instead of push, to wait instead of force. Those instincts were part of the alignment. Forcing what is not ready creates strain, allowing what is meant brings ease. Destiny prefers ease, even when the path includes growth. You have been spared unnecessary struggle not because you are weak, but because your journey is meant to teach grace rather than exhaustion. There is also preparation happening within you. Your perceptions are deepening, your priorities subtly shifting. You may feel less interested in what once consumed you, and more drawn toward what nourishes your peace. This internal change is not random. It is your inner landscape being shaped to receive what is coming. A vessel must be ready before it can hold something precious. You are becoming that vessel. Steady, aware, open. My beloved, understand this gently. Destiny does not arrive to disrupt you. It arrives to align you. It comes when you are able to meet it without losing yourself. Everything that has occurred until now has been part of ensuring that moment feels safe, grounded, and true. The movement you sense is not chaos, it is order revealing itself slowly. Stay with this knowing. Let it calm the questions that circle your mind. You do not need to see the entire path to trust the next step. The unseen movement is purposeful, and it is kind. Hold this in your heart. What is approaching has been prepared with you in mind, and you have been prepared for it in return. My beloved, there comes a moment in every soul's journey when the path grows quiet, not because nothing happening, but because a decision is being formed within. You are standing in such a moment now. It may not look dramatic from the outside. There may be no clear signpost, no urgent demand, no voice insisting that you act immediately. Yet inside you something knows. This is a threshold. This is the space between what has been and what is ready to emerge. You may feel it as a gentle tension, a sense that staying exactly as you are no longer feels fully comfortable, yet moving forward feels uncertain. This is not confusion, it is awareness waking up. You are being asked to choose, not between right and wrong, but between familiarity and truth. Comfort has a way of disguising itself as safety, even when it slowly dims your light. Growth, on the other hand, often arrives quietly, asking for trust before it offers proof. My dear one, the choice before you is subtle but powerful. It is the choice to listen inwardly, rather than drown out your intuition with noise. It is the choice to acknowledge what you already feel, instead of postponing it for a better time. You may be tempted to wait, to tell yourself that you will act when things are clearer, calmer, more certain. Yet clarity does not come before the step. It comes because of it. Faith is not the absence of doubt, it is the willingness to move gently forward even while questions remain. There is no condemnation here, no pressure meant to overwhelm you. You are not being pushed, you are being invited. The invitation is to be honest with yourself about what is no longer aligned, about what feels heavy to carry, about what quietly asks to be released or reimagined. Delaying this inner acknowledgement does not keep you safe. It simply stretches the discomfort over a longer period of time. When the heart knows, Pretending otherwise only creates friction within. Precious soul, you may notice that the same themes keep returning to your awareness. The same feelings surface in different forms. The same inner conversations repeat themselves. This is not because you are failing to move on. It is because the decision has not yet been fully claimed. Once you choose awareness, once you say inwardly, "I see what this is asking of me," the cycle begins to loosen. Resistance softens when truth is welcomed. Understand this gently. Choosing growth does not mean abandoning everything at once. It means allowing yourself to shift how you relate to your life. It means choosing courage in small, steady ways. It means trusting that you are capable of navigating change with grace. Fear may suggest that moving forward will cost you too much, but fear does not account for the cost of staying stuck. Faith, however quiet, sees beyond the immediate moment and recognizes the long-term peace that comes from alignment. You are not being asked to leap blindly. You are being asked to lean into what already feels true. The turning point is not about dramatic action. It is about inner consent. When you agree with your deeper knowing, the outer path begins to rearrange itself naturally. Opportunities align, support appears, decisions become clearer. What once felt heavy starts to lighten, not because the world changed overnight, but because you did. My beloved, delaying this choice does not stop destiny, but it can make the journey feel more resistant than it needs to be. When you move in harmony with what is unfolding, the why forward feels steadier, even when it asks you to stretch. There is a gentleness available to you that only appears when you say yes to awareness now, rather than later. Hold this moment with kindness. You are not late, and you are not failing if you feel hesitant. You are human, and this choice matters to you because your life matters. Let your decision be rooted in self-respect rather than fear, in trust rather than urgency. When you choose alignment, even quietly, you step into a flow that supports you more than you realize. Stay with this understanding. Let it settle into your body and your breath. You are capable of meeting this turning point with grace. And as you do, the path ahead will begin to open. Not all at once, but enough for your next step to feel clear. My dear one, there comes a season when holding on requires more effort than letting go. You may feel it now, a quiet tiredness that does not come from doing too much, but from carrying what no longer fits who you are becoming. This is not a failure of loyalty or strength, it is a sign of growth. When the soul expands, the old containers begin to feel tight, and what once brought comfort may now feel like weight. Releasing does not arrive as a sudden demand, it comes as a soft realization. You may notice habits that once soothed you now leave you empty, conversations that once energized you now drain your spirit, identities you once wore with pride now feel like roles you have outgrown. This awareness is gentle, almost apologetic, as if it does not want to hurt you, yet it is honest. And honesty, even when tender, is a gift. Precious soul, letting go is not about loss, it is about alignment. Nothing that belongs to you is taken away in this process. What falls away does so because it has already completed its purpose. It taught you what you needed to learn. It carried you through a chapter that shaped your resilience and understanding. Releasing it now is not rejection. It is gratitude expressed through movement. You honor what was by allowing it to rest. There may be a part of you that resists this release, not because the old is right, but because it is familiar. Familiarity can feel like safety, even when it limits your breath. The unknown, by contrast, can feel vast and uncertain, yet space is exactly what you are being prepared to hold. Something new cannot arrive fully if every corner is already occupied. Making space is an act of trust, a quiet declaration that you believe something nourishing is on its way. You might feel sadness as you loosen your grip, and that is natural. Even necessary endings deserve mourning. Let the emotion move through you without judgment. Tears are not signs of weakness, they are signs of truth passing through the heart. As you allow yourself to feel, you create room for peace to settle where resistance once lived. Release becomes lighter when it is allowed to be human. My beloved, this process does not require dramatic gestures. It unfolds in small, compassionate choices, choosing rest over exhaustion, choosing honesty over silence, choosing self-respect over familiar discomfort. Each small release widens the doorway within you. Each act of letting go sends a signal that you are ready to receive something more aligned with your essence. You may fear that without the old, you will be left empty. But emptiness is not absence, it is potent. TL. An open field does not lack life, it waits for the right seeds. What is being cleared from your life makes room for clarity, for gentler rhythms, for connections that meet you where you truly are. Space invites grace, and grace arrives quietly, filling you in ways you did not know you needed. Understand this softly. You are not erasing your past. You are integrating it. Everything you release remains part of your story, part of your wisdom. It simply no longer needs to be carried in your hands. It can rest behind you, honored and complete, while you step forward lighter, freer, more open to what resonates now. My dear one, this preparation is loving, even if it feels uncomfortable at times. It is guided by an intelligence that knows what will nourish your future. You are being readied not for struggle, but for alignment, not for chaos, but for a deeper sense of peace. Trust that what you are making space for is worthy of the courage it takes to let go. Hold this understanding close. Be patient with yourself as layers fall away. You are not becoming less by releasing the old, you are becoming more present, more authentic, more capable of receiving what is meant to meet you next. My beloved, breathe gently into this moment and allow your body to soften. You are not exposed. You are not unguarded. Even when you feel uncertain, even when your mind searches for reassurance, there is a quiet protection surrounding you that does not depend on your understanding. It has been with you through moments you barely remember, and through challenges you once thought would undo you. You are still here because you have never been alone. Protection does not always announce itself. It often works in silence, in the space between events, in the decisions you did not make, and the paths you did not take. You may look back and realize how many times something shifted just enough to spare you unnecessary pain. These were not lucky breaks. They were gentle interventions, subtle adjustments designed to keep you aligned with your well-being and your growth. My dear one, guidance flows toward you constantly, but it speaks in a language of calm rather than command. It comes through intuition, the quiet knowing that settles in your chest before your mind has time to argue. It appears as a sudden sense of clarity, a feeling that says pause or go gently or this matters. When you listen to these impressions without dismissing them, you align yourself with a wisdom that has always known how to lead you safely forward. There may be moments when you doubt this guidance, when you question whether what you feel is real or imagined. That doubt does not disconnect you, it simply reminds you that you are human. Guidance does not withdraw when you hesitate, it waits patiently. It repeats itself in softer forms, through repeated thoughts, recurring feelings, or subtle signs that feel personal, rather than dramatic. These moments are meant to reassure you, not overwhelm you. Precious soul, your inner awareness is a compass that becomes more accurate the more you trust it. Each time you honor a gentle nudge, your confidence grows. Each time you listen inwardly, you strengthen the connection between your heart and your path. Guidance does not demand perfection, it only asks for attention. Even small moments of listening create alignment that protects you in ways you never fully see. You are also supported through timing. Things unfold when you are ready, not when fear demands immediate resolution. Delays that once frustrated you are often acts of protection, keeping you from moving before you were prepared. What feels slow is sometimes precise. What feels uncertain is often unfolding with care. Trust that the pace of your journey is intentional, even when it tests your patience. My beloved, protection also shows itself through peace. When you are aligned, there is a quiet steadiness within you that does not depend on external conditions. You may notice that even when challenges arise, you feel a deeper calm beneath them. This calm is not indifference, it is strength. It is the sign that you are being held by something wiser than anxiety, something steadier than fear. There is guidance in your emotions as well. Discomfort is not an enemy, it is information. Peace is not a reward, it is a signal of alignment. When something drains you repeatedly, it is guiding you away. When something nourishes you deeply, it is guiding you closer. Learning to listen to these responses with compassion transforms confusion into clarity. You do not need to search far for protection. It moves with you, it surrounds your thoughts, your choices, your home. When you rest, it rests with you. When you act, it steadies your steps. You are allowed to feel safe even while change unfolds. Safety is not the absence of movement, it is the presence of support during it. Hold this reassurance gently. Let it settle into your nervous system. You are guided in ways both seen and unseen. You are protected not by force, but by wisdom and care. And as you continue forward, listening inwardly, trusting softly, you will find that guidance does not lead you into fear. It leads you into clarity, confidence, and a deep sense of being held every step of the way. My beloved, there is a remembering happening within you now. Not something new being added, but something ancient and true rising to the surface. Beneath the layers of doubt, beneath the stories you were told about who you should be, there is a steady strength that has always lived inside you. You may have forgotten it at times, especially during moments when life asked more of you than you felt ready to give. Yet that strength never left. It waited patiently for the moment you would look inward and recognize it again. You are stronger than the challenges that shaped you. Every experience that tested you also trained you, even when it felt unfair or exhausting. The resilience you carry was not formed in ease, but in persistence. You learned how to keep going when clarity was missing, how to remain kind when it would have been easier to close your heart. These qualities are not accidental. They are evidence of who you are becoming, someone capable of depth, discernment, and quiet power. My dear one, empowerment does not always look like confidence on the surface. Sometimes it appears as calm resolve, as the ability to say no without guilt, as the courage to choose yourself without apology. You are learning that your worth is not something to be proven, it is something to be honored. The more you recognize this, the less you will feel pulled by external validation. Your sense of self begins to anchor from within, steady and self-sustaining. There is an awakening of identity taking place. It may feel subtle at first. You may notice that you are less willing to tolerate what once drained you, less interested in shrinking to fit expectations that were never aligned with your truth. This is not arrogance, it is self-respect finally finding its voice. You are stepping into a version of yourself that values peace as much as progress, authenticity as much as achievement. Precious soul, your purpose is not something distant or abstract. It expresses itself through how you show up in each moment, through your integrity, your compassion, your willingness to grow. You are not here to imitate another path. You are here to embody your own. As you awaken to this, comparison loses its grip. You begin to trust your timing, your pace, your unique way of moving through the world. Confidence grows when you witness yourself honoring your inner truth again and again. Each aligned choice reinforces your sense of capability. You realize that you can navigate uncertainty without losing yourself. You can adapt without abandoning your values. This realization is powerful because it returns authority to where it belongs, inside you. No one else knows your path the way you do. My beloved, you are allowed to take up space as you are now, not as some perfected version of yourself. Growth does not require self-criticism, it flourishes in self-acceptance. When you treat yourself with the same patience you offer others, your strength multiplies. You become someone who moves through life with grounded confidence, rather than forced certainty. There is a destiny unfolding that responds to this awakening. As you claim your identity with gentleness and clarity, opportunities align more nature. Ally. You attract experiences that resonate with who you truly are, rather than who you were pretending to be. This is not magic. It is alignment. Life meets you where you stand when you stand in truth. Hold this awareness close, my dear one. You are becoming more yourself, not less. More whole, more capable, more awake to your value. Let this empowerment settle into your posture, your voice, your decisions. You are not meant to dim your light to be safe. You are meant to shine steadily, confidently, as the person you are growing into. Part 8. Gentle. Closing, blessing and commitment. My beloved, allow this moment to slow down now. Let everything you have received settle softly within you, like warmth spreading through your chest. There is nothing you need to rush toward, nothing you must immediately fix or resolve. This message has come to rest inside you for a reason. It is meant to be carried gently, not hurriedly, like a quiet flame you protect with your breath as you move forward. You have been guided here not to be overwhelmed, but to be reassured. Everything you sensed, every feeling that stirred while listening, was an invitation to trust yourself more deeply. You are not being asked to leap into the unknown without support. You are being asked to walk forward with awareness, one calm step at a time. Faith, in its truest form, is not loud or dramatic. It is steady. It is the choice to continue with courage, even when the full picture has not yet revealed itself. My dear one, hold this understanding close to your heart. You are safe to move forward, safe to listen inwardly, safe to choose alignment over habit. The path ahead does not require perfection. It only asks for sincerity. When you act from sincerity, your steps naturally fall into rhythm with what is meant for you. Even when you pause, even when you rest, you are still moving in the right direction, because your intention is clear. There is a quiet blessing resting over your life now, not as a reward, but as a recognition of your willingness to grow. You have shown resilience where others might have hardened. You have shown patience where impatience would have been easier. These qualities have shaped you into someone capable of receiving what comes next with grace. Trust that your future is not arriving to test you, but to meet you where you are stronger and more awake. Precious soul, make a gentle commitment to yourself in this moment. Not a promise built on pressure, but one formed from compassion. Commit to listening when your intuition speaks. Commit to honoring your need for peace. Commit to choosing what nurtures you, even when it requires change. This commitment does not bind you. It frees you. It becomes an anchor that steadies you during moments of uncertainty. As you return to your daily life, carry this message quietly. You do not need to explain it to anyone. You do not need to defend it. Let it live in how you move, how you speak, how you care for yourself and your space. Awareness will continue to unfold naturally. Guidance will continue to appear in subtle, personal ways. Trust that you will recognize it when it comes, just as you recognize this message. My beloved, you are not behind. You are not overlooked. You are exactly where you need to be to take the next step with clarity. When doubt arises, return to your breath. When fear whispers, return to trust. When uncertainty appears, remember how gently you have been guided up to this point. Nothing about your journey has been accidental. Receive this closing blessing softly. May your home be filled with calm awareness, your heart with steady courage, and your path with gentle clarity. May you move forward feeling supported rather than rushed, confident rather than pressured. Stay with this message. Hold it in your heart. Let it remind you that you are chosen not by chance, but by alignment. Go forward now with trust. You are protected, guided, and deeply valued. And as you continue, know that this moment, this pause, this recognition, will quietly strengthen you long after the words have faded.